Kia ora Canterbury, welcome to Canterbury Live on Tuesday the 15th of December. Yes, Christmas is well and truly on its way and there's lots of Christmas functions happening at the moment. You could have had your Christmas party or you're about to attend one. There's certain things you probably should think about before you get there. The top 5 today of things you shouldn't do during a Christmas party. Number 1, don't get exceptionally drunk. Poor old Garfield there, look at him there. In other words, be sure to pay attention to how much you've been drinking. We all know all the possible outcomes of intoxication, and yes, the majority of the time, these outcomes are disastrous, especially when you're going to catch up with everyone on Monday. Number 2, restrain from telling your boss what you really think of him. While your drunk inhibitions and common sense can fall to disastrous levels, the fact that you saw your boss smile for the first time is not an open invitation to express your feelings. If you've got that little crush you've had on, probably not the best time to actually tell him. And number 3, this is a very important one. I actually think it'd be cool if he did turn up for it, but please don't dress like that if you're on the chaps. Don't dress inappropriately. Girls, don't overdo it. You might have been hanging out to show all your bits and that to all the guys at work. Probably not the right time at the Christmas do. And the men, don't wear that ugly light blue tuxedo jacket you think is really cool. Leave it at home. Basically, instead, go for something more simple and sophisticated. Right, next up, don't be antisocial. Yes, sitting in the corner with your mobile phone is probably not the best thing to do, sitting there watching everyone else have a great time. You don't want to seem like the office Grinch. Get out there and talk. Put down the phone. And last but not least, you might have been waiting all year for the Christmas party, but don't be the one that pulls up their seat next to the buffet and eats. Also not a good look, and where people will remember you as the glutton at the Christmas party. Rightio, giveaways. It is the last day. Woohoo! Last day of giveaways for Canterbury Live. The movie tickets, yes, they could be yours, or the wonderful painting from Ira Mitchell-Kirk that is $1,200 in value, and an original. We will be announcing the winners tomorrow. And do not enter, please, if you cannot collect these items before midday on Friday, as we're closing up shop for 2015. Rightio. On today's show, I get comments every day about my nails, and you'll be meeting my nail technician. Lee will be here. She's just a little bit fabulous. And we celebrate 165 years of Canterbury tomorrow, and we meet one of a great historian that will tell us all about what we should be thinking of. And we visit the Nourish Kitchen for the last time in 2015. It's a Christmas platter. But first up, as we all know, we all put on different faces, don't we, from day to day. Are you okay? Yes. What face is Karen Deegan wearing today?
Hi.
A poker face?
I've got my happy face on. I'd have to have, wouldn't I, really?
You have to. You don't have to feel it.
No.
You can put one on, though.
But I try very hard not to wear a mask, because when we're wearing a mask, we're not being real. And, you know, a lot of people do wear a mask that says, I'm happy, I'm confident, I'm doing well in life. Because we share the persona of what we think other people want to see, of what we think will be acceptable. And of course, the reason why we wear a mask is because if we don't love and accept ourselves, then we need that acceptance from other people. So therefore we feel we have to be who they want us to be. And the problem with wearing masks, Andrew, is that it saps a lot of our energy. And that's energy we could be using to keep ourselves healthy, motivated and moving forward in life.
Yeah, and it's draining, isn't it?
Very draining.
Very taxing. Do you ever get people who are wearing a sad mask or are not doing so well mask?
Well, the funny thing
on
is,
purpose?
Yes, they do. Consider this. I had a client recently who a loved one had passed away over the last couple of years, and she'd done a lot of her grieving, but she felt that there are society rules, shall we say, that she had this rule in her head that says, well, I need to grieve for 5 years, and it had only been 2. And so she felt that she had to wear the mask that says, oh, I'm happy, I'm still grieving, I'm a bit sad. And especially I don't think her children had finished grieving, and she just didn't feel that she could show how happy she was in front of them. So she was walking around with a sort of a mute on the happiness, a sad mask, so to speak.
Wow, and that's so not being true to yourself, is it really?
It's not being true to yourself. I asked her, do you give yourself permission to be 100% happy? And she said no.
So what stops us from taking off the mask? It's pretty obvious for that one there. She's thinking of her children, she's thinking of others and not herself. But what do you think it is so hard for people to actually reveal their true face?
makes you very vulnerable if you're showing the true you to someone. And sometimes our masks, we wear them for so long, they become part of us and we don't even realise how to take them off anymore. They've been with us for so long. I was actually at an event the other week and someone was speaking, and it was a very professional event with very professional people there, and he spoke about how over the period of the last few years things hadn't gone so well for him, and he sort of dropped back and his business had not gone so well, and they'd actually earned less and less and less over the last few years. And I was so touched by how real he was. I thought, how many people, this is a man who had no mask on. And it made me realise hardly any time do you ever see someone without a mask, and I was so touched by his realness. And that's one of the things I help people to do, is to let go of their masks. So sometimes even though we know we're wearing it, it's very hard for us to let go of it ourselves.
Probably a good example of that would be John Kirwan and what the impact he had when he
was being real
about his depression, actually. So, yeah.
It's funny you should mention that, because a lot of people who are very out there, very outgoing, very funny life of the party, are actually very depressed, but they don't let you see that. They play the mask of the funny, happy person, but often behind the scenes they're absolutely crashing.
Actors, they're a classic example of that, aren't they? Putting on a face all the time. So what would your tip be this week if we are currently walking with a mask, and probably a lot of us are around this time for Christmas, because not all of us enjoy this time.
No, this is the time we wear our masks even more with our family. If you want, happiness does not lie behind a mask. So if you want to be happy, one thing you can do yourself is imagine being without your mask. Imagine, just in your mind's eye, taking it off around certain people or in certain circumstances. Sit with that feeling that comes, because there'll be some emotions that come up. Write down your feelings. Then look at that list and think, okay, can I do this on my own? Can I deal with all those feelings if I take my mask off? If the answer is yes, then do it. If the answer is no, then seek some professional help, perhaps from someone like myself, who can help you to do that, because happiness does not lie behind a mask.
Yeah, so it's having your heart on your sleeve, isn't it? And who you can actually do that with. Okay, so this is our last time for this year. It's a little bit sad. We've covered so many things this year, Karen, and you've given some fantastic tools. I'm really excited about 2016. How do you feel about your 2016 going into it?
I'm excited because, as you know, my book, there's a big book launch in February, so we'll be talking about that in the new year. So that's a really exciting thing for me. It's been a big deal. Santa bought me a new title, author.
I like that. Thank you so much for your positivity, but more so for the real tools that you've given. You've helped a lot of people this year, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I look forward to doing all again next year with
me too.
Our new program that we'll talk about a bit later.
Very
exciting. Rightio. After the break, Christmas platters are such a wonderful way to actually take something along to someone. Some yummy things you can do, and thank goodness for Nicola Freya. And yes, as promised, you do meet the beautiful Lee, who looks after these bad boys. See you soon.
But the fire is so delightful, and since we know place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
It doesn't show signs of stopping.
Just got home from work and been invited to Christmas drinks. Do you need a plate of nibbles with just an hour up your sleeve? Well, I've got a plate of something that you can take to a party or drinks that I'm going to prepare today that's really quick to put together and tasty and healthy too. So to start with, we've got some nacho boats, and I'm just going to make up a little mix of nachos in these wee bamboo boats, but you can also do them in a small plastic cup or something like that as well. Just means that you can carry them around with you rather than using a plate or a serviette. So to start with, we're just putting salsa chili beans in these, which have a mixture of corn and onions in them as well, just for extra flavour. And I've got some guacamole there, which is some lovely soft avocados with just some lemon juice, some sweet chili sauce and a bit of salt and pepper, and just a small amount of light sour cream there on the top, and those colours look really lovely. So I'm just going to add, so that people can dip these into the beans and the guacamole, just a little bit of carrot and celery on each one, and a corn chip of course as well. So I've just got a few to add to those ones as well, and they look really lovely on that platter. A nice substantial nibble with that one. The next one I've got, and it's timely time of year for this nibble, is just some Christmas cake that we're going to add some cheese and apple to. And it may seem like an unusual combination, but the flavours go really nicely together. So I've just got some Edam cheese. I'm just going to pop on those. And a slice of apple, and all I've done with the apple is just mixed it with some lemon juice so that it doesn't go brown. You could also, another nice combination that's similar to this mix is some ginger loaf with blue cheese and a pear on top. That's really a lovely mixture as well. It's just that nice combination of fresh crisp apple with the cheese, a slight savoury mix, and the fruit cake goes really nicely together. So that's that one as well. And the last one we're going to do is just some mini kebabs on these little kebab sticks that have the wee knots on the top. And I've just got some watermelon and some feta cheese, and we're going to wrap the feta in a mint leaf. And the mint leaf just gives a lovely fresh flavour, and very, very simple this one, but the flavours together are really lovely. So if you just put the mint leaf around the outside of the piece of feta, so that the nice green colour is around the outside, and then just a lovely big piece of melon on the end. And you could do this with rock melon. It could even possibly be done with pineapple as well. Yeah, so the combinations are quite good depending on what's available at the supermarket. So I'll just put a second one through there, and you can see the colour of that pink of the watermelon and the lovely green goes really nicely together. So I've just got a couple more, pop those on there too. So you can see that platter really coming together nicely, the mix of colours and the variety of the different things to try are really nice. So it looks great, and be sure to please just grab some lippy on your way out and you're all set to go.
Well, as promised, you're going to meet a very special lady. She's essential in my world, very much an essential part. Lee joins me, our Lee fam. Welcome to Canterbury Live.
Hi, Andrew.
I know, I can't believe she's all quiet now. She's like a little chatterbox in the salon. And one of your customers, Teresa Campbell. Welcome, Teresa.
Thank you.
And you're here for a different... You've got the beautiful nails you girls have had your nails done, and this is where... obviously mine are done. We'll start just quickly, Lee, though, where you're situated. For me, it's brilliant. I'm at North Canterbury, but you have customers that come from all over.
Yes, I've been doing nails for like 12 years. So I used to work in a mall, and then I opened in Kaipoi, and people just walk past and like, hey, I know that girl. And I'm like, yes, I do remember you. So they just, try to come and supporting me, so which is really nice.
Yeah, well, the brilliant thing, and I suppose, Teresa, you find it as well, is that with Resort Nails, Lee's business, it's 7 days. They do occasionally close, but you don't have to make a booking.
No. Yes, no. So you can just walk in and, just sit down, and you can use the internet while you're waiting. So we've got free internet, Wi-Fi, and we can make you a coffee or tea. Yeah.
You just pamper us.
Yes.
And let's show some pictures of some nails that you've done. I mean, you have got the most talented nail technicians. Tam's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
My goodness,
We're
she's
very
a proper
lucky.
Oh,
Yes.
no, that's not nails. We'll get to that. We'll skip those. We'll go straight to the nails. We'll go,
Oh my gosh.
Who's that girl? Who's that? Here we are. Here's the nails now. So Christmas is upon us, and
Yes.
look at that detailing. It's a bit of fun, isn't it?
It is. It's really fun when you have time and just sit down and just,
Relaxing.
imagining and do whatever you like to do. So
Well, you introduced me to the world of the alternate nails. Like, I've got this, but you do like one nail on each hand.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different.
yeah, so it's really popular at the moment.
Yeah.
People just like, oh, I like this colour, but I also like this one. So we're like, why don't you try one of these? So, and then it's getting popular and
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?
Yes,
it's
it is.
great. Now let's go to you, Teresa, because we just had obviously a little hint then exactly what we're going to talk about. Lee, you've now got into tattooing.
Yes, so recently, that's what I always wanted to do. I used to be a makeup artist back home 15 years ago doing model and on TV. So I really like to make people look more beautiful, especially with people a little bit older, the eyebrows, you know, just... Yeah, so
it's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's aging process and that.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yes, so I went back to Vietnam and did 8 weeks training with cosmetic tattoo, and now I come back and do it at my salon. So like Teresa, I just asked her if she would like to do eyebrow tattoo, and she's like, yeah, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can proudly say, how old are you, Teresa?
70. Well, I had just had my 73rd birthday.
Woohoo! Big up to you, girlfriend. Now we've got the pictures. We'll put them up now, John, if that's okay. Showing you before.
Oh my
Lovely.
gosh.
You look every 73 years of age. Can I just say there? But
yes.
that, you know, that's the base you're starting with, and then.
So that is an original before.
Yeah.
Um,
And then we'll go to. We're just waiting.
yeah.
Waiting in anticipation.
Yes.
And there we go. There we
Yeah.
go. Wow. The years just drop off, don't they? Teresa, were you a bit blown away when you looked in the mirror for the first time?
I was definitely blown away.
But in a positive way.
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
So what are the fears that people have? Because there will be people who are a bit scared
Yes.
about getting it done, Lee.
Basically, when people think, oh my God, tattoo on the face is quite scary, but actually it's not, because I have done it myself. So basically today I do
Yeah, your
wear
eyes
makeup.
look amazing. They
But
are
normally
quite
I
sensational.
wake up, I don't have to worry about my eyebrow, my eyeliner or my lips. So I have done all of that in once. And the thing is, you're a bit nervous because you think, it's my face, what I'm going to do,
You
what
can't
if
rub
it
it
go
out.
wrong.
Yeah.
But first of all, we just draw the shape that you like, and then we put the numbing cream on for half an hour, and then we just, you know, micro blading, so it kind of small needle, and we just kind of put it in so it's nice and
Natural.
trendy. Yes, but the thing is, when you first done it,
Yeah.
it will look really scary. It does.
can
I
assure
love your
you.
honesty.
Yes.
You're really scary. Is it because it's dark, Lee?
Yes, because
Yeah.
it's so dark, and after 3 weeks or a month, it will fade off, and it's slowly come out nice. So if you do want it, just make sure that it's
You've got
gonna-
no events to go to, maybe just straight after. Actually,
Yeah.
this is the perfect time to get done now, isn't it?
Oh,
We're going
yes.
into the Christmas break.
Yes.
So you've got that time before you go back to work and that.
That's
Fabulous.
right.
I won't go into prices and that, Lee. I think people just contact you because there'll be different prices for different looks, is there?
Yes, it is. But also, I got a gift voucher for
Oh.
somebody would like to try. So please call CTV.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So.
Well, I think they should come into you, though, to get it. Because, that'll be good idea if they want to come into it. So, great. So, just call in 379 7100 to win. So, that is for
eyeliner.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay. Very generous indeed. Okay, sweetheart, I'll see you next week anyway. I need to
Thank
get my
you.
holiday nails on. And Teresa, Merry Christmas to you. And
you too.
congratulations.
Oh,
Good on
thank
you.
you. Thank you.
We need first at 73. It's very cool
Too
indeed.
right.
Good on you. Merry Christmas to you both. Rightio. After the break, we are celebrating tomorrow 165 years of Christchurch. That's right. We find out more about that with Annette. See you soon.
Weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so.
Watch out, you better not cry. You better
Well, a very special birthday is happening tomorrow, 165 years young. Joining me now is Annette Bolovich. Welcome to Canterbury Live.
Thank you.
Our last week on air.
Oh,
Merry
lovely.
Christmas.
Wonderful subject for the last week.
It is, isn't it?
It is,
Really? And
yeah.
you're so red and black.
Yes, always.
Go you.
I'm a
Go
proud,
you.
very proud Cantab.
So tell us about what is happening tomorrow then, because a lot of us probably don't even know.
Not much, which is why I'm here today, because
Yeah.
it's a bit of a forgotten date, unfortunately, so that's why I like to come along and share the story as much as I can, because it is a bit of a forgotten date, which is a bit sad, yeah.
So what is so significant about the 16th of
It was,
December?
it was at 10 a.m, the Charlotte Jane came round the heads, godly heads, and sailed into Littleton, and that was our very first Canterbury Association ship. And the Canterbury Association was who set up Christchurch, a bunch of very rich, up-class men in London who had a wee project. They wanted an Anglican settlement, and that happened to be Christchurch. So Charlotte Jane was the first of 28 ships. We only really acknowledged the first 4, but there were 28 of them up to 1853. So 1850 to March 1853, 28 ships, but the Charlotte Jane, the very first, dropped anchor 10 a.m. at Littleton tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Oh, this was a civilised time, 10 a.m.
It was, yeah, not too bad.
So where did Christchurch and Canterbury come from then?
The Canterbury Association had their first meeting on the 27th of March in 1848 in London. And John Robert Godley was one of the leading men. He was the one who had a lot of contacts, and he pulled everyone together and they put their money in. And he basically suggested that he would like to name Christchurch after his school in Oxford as a bit of an honour to those who educated him. So Christchurch was 2 separate words that when it was a school, and Godley just wanted to honour his school. So he made that suggestion and it was adopted. The men liked it. And the president of the Canterbury Association was a gentleman called Dr. John Bird Sumner. And he was the Archbishop of Canterbury, and that's how the region got the name to honour the president. So,
what was Littleton Christchurch like back then?
Oh, it was not... Well, there's a gentleman called Edward Ward who arrived on Charlotte Jane, and he writes about going over the hill on horseback with Godley, and he talks about there being at least 2 shacks and 2 tents, and that was literally Christchurch. So Littleton really was the lively place of Canterbury in those days. There were 700 people already here by the time the Charlotte Jane dropped anchor. So you can imagine it wasn't just nothing was here, but so 700 people lived around Port Hills and around Banks Peninsula and in Littleton, so there was nothing here, but Littleton definitely was the busiest place. Immigration barracks were built, the jetty was built, there were 2 pubs.
Oh, we need 2 pubs.
You need 2 pubs and everything like that. So Christchurch wasn't much to look at, it was survey pegs. One poor gentleman walked over the bottle path and he hit Ridley Square, which is today Cathedral Square, and he asked somebody, "Where's Christchurch?" So it wasn't exactly what they thought, but a wonderful city now.
I'm going to state the obvious. There's probably viewers asking that question. Anniversary day for Canterbury. Why is it not on the 16th of December then?
It's really odd because from the second anniversary of the arrival of Charlotte Jane, we had the show. People were encouraged to bring their livestock, bring their fruit, veggies, anything you can sell. Grandma, pick it up, sell it, as long as you can move it. And so for the first 10 years, the show that we know in November was celebrated on the 16th, first site Hadley Park. And then within 10 years, the show had taken on its own personality and actually split from the anniversary date. And 1859, it moved out of the city, but in 1862 it came back, and that year bankers, children, all the normal Cantabs, because the city had expanded beyond just farming, all came to have a look, and the show's never looked back since.
It certainly hasn't.
It hasn't.
So can I just ask, links? Is there links between those first 4 ships and everyday life now?
Sure, yep. Fitzgerald came off Charlotte Jane. He founded the press. Charles Christopher Bowen, he was behind compulsory free education for children in New Zealand. Having a almost complete blank, but no, a lot of things around today. Suburbs, Ilam, Beckenham, Summerfield, these were all farms that were founded by the people of the first 4 ships.
So what should we do tomorrow then at 10 a.m?
I always ask my readers just to take that moment and just remember what happened at 10 a.m. Have a quiet moment and just remember. A lot of the first families read my things, so they always appreciate that.
I bet they
Some
do.
effort is being made to just remember what a wonderful thing happened on the 16th.
It seemed long ago, 165 years, does it?
No, we're
thanks,
very young city. Yeah.
You are a pocket rocket, a little red and black pocket rocket of information. Enjoy tomorrow, and I think we should all encourage everyone. 10 a.m. Well, we're on air, so I can't shut up, unfortunately, for a minute.
That's all right.
It's quite hard. Okay, take care. Rightio. Tomorrow we have Mark from Stable Pharmacy here, and Ange and I are out again shopping for some outfits for New Year's. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care.
Better be good for goodness